Let's say that we have an application that fails at some point in its execution. We want to determine the exact point at which the application fails, so that we can debug the point of failure, figure out what is wrong, and fix it. We can do this by setting a breakpoint at various points in the application until we find one where the CPU stops successfully. Now we can try setting a breakpoint further in the application and see whether we stop on that one as well. If we do, we can set another breakpoint even further and repeat this process until we find a breakpoint that we cannot reach. Then we can try moving the two breakpoints closer together until we narrow down the area of failure to a single function or a few lines of code. It is then much easier to debug a single function than an entire application. We can demonstrate this with a real-world example. Let's say that we have an application running on an 𝗧𝘂𝗁𝗚𝗃148 development board, and we need to test it to ensure everything is running as it should. To make sure that everything is running smoothly, let's perform a download and run the application. If we don't run into any issues, we should be located somewhere in main when we stop the CPU. Here we see that the application download worked. Now, let's try to run it. We can see that the CPU is stopped in the 𝗕𝗿𝗏𝗃 function, which is an interrupt handler for interrupts that were caused by hardware faults, such as memory access to uninitialized peripherals or non-existent memory locations. Now we can use the principle of breakpoint bisecting to narrow down the lines of code responsible for this error. Let's reset the CPU so that we're at the beginning of the application and set a breakpoint at the beginning of main. This way, we'll see whether we're able to reach main, or if the issue happens before reaching it. Okay, so we can see that the CPU reaches the breakpoint. This means that the issue happens at some point after this breakpoint. Let's set a second breakpoint, this time somewhere inside main. Let's use 𝗕𝗶𝗁𝗚 for this example. The CPU did not stop at the breakpoint. Instead, we can see that we're inside 𝗕𝗿𝗏𝗃 again. This means that the issue happened somewhere between the two breakpoints. Let's reset the CPU and set a breakpoint between the already existing breakpoints. Let's set it at target init and run the CPU. We reached the first breakpoint, and we reached the second one. We know from before that we cannot reach the third one, so let's set a breakpoint between the second and the third one and run the CPU. Once again, the CPU is not stopping at the breakpoint, and it goes into the 𝗕𝗿𝗏𝗃 function. This means that the application runs fine all the way to target init, but when we want to run it to the next available breakpoint, the CPU goes into the 𝗕𝗿𝗏𝗃 function. This tells us that the issue lies somewhere inside the target init function. Let's take a look at what happens inside the target init function. We'll reset the CPU and stop just before the function. We can use the step operation to step to the first instruction of the target init function. We could continue with the bisecting via breakpoints approach, but since the target init function only contains a few lines, we can simply try stepping over them using the 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 command. As you can see, we were able to step over all the functions except target enable interrupts. Let's reset the CPU and try the procedure again, but this time we'll use the step command to step into the target enable interrupts function. The target enable interrupts function has only 3 lines, so we can repeat the procedure we used for target init, stepping over the lines. You can see that we weren't able to step over the last line of target enable interrupts, and we ended up in 𝗕𝗿𝗏𝗃 again. This means that we have now found the exact line of code that causes our application to fail, and we have done so by using the principle of breakpoint bisecting combined with stepping through the code. Now that we have the point of failure, we can investigate it and, if possible, fix the problem. So, how do we figure out what's wrong? we see that the code is setting the 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗕𝗵𝗃 field in the 𝗕𝗵𝗃 module of the CPU, so the first thing we can do is to check the manual and check what the 𝗕𝗵𝗃 module is, what it does, the associated memory addresses, and so on. After having read through the manual, we understand what the module is supposed to do, and it looks like the code should be doing everything correctly, so there must be something else going on here. Let's start at the beginning and check if the base address of the 𝗕𝗵𝗃 module we use in the application is the same as the one written in the manual. Let's open the header file and check the address that's written in there. Now, this doesn't look right. The manual says that the 𝗕𝗵𝗃 module base address is 40037000, but we're using 40035000. Let's change this to the correct value. Now we need to rebuild the application and try again. I am using winIDEA to build my project. You may be using some different build system, in which case you will have to rebuild the application with whatever tool you're using. Now we can perform a download and run the application again. If we step through the target enable interrupts function, we can see that we can actually step over the last line successfully, which would indicate that we fixed the problem. And indeed, if we now run the application, it runs without going into the hard fault handler function, which means that the problem is fixed. So, in summary, we used the concept of breakpoint bisecting to narrow down the problem area, we stepped through the code to pinpoint the exact point of failure, and we used our engineering skills and the documentation to resolve the issue. I would like to thank you for your attention and see you next time.